The final word.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Newcastle Fans TV. This is the final word. We've just witnessed Newcastle get 2 wins in a week. 7 points in the last 3. Newcastle 2, Southampton 1. Me with Lee and Rob. We've done the score and the players. Make sure you check that video before you come to this one. See if you agree with what we gave all the players. Look at my Joelinton score. See if you agree or disagree, and maybe he should be dropped for the next game. Who knows? Just one change, Rob.
Yep.
Carroll, I don't think was ever going to play 2 games in 3 days, and Joelinton came back in. We'll touch more in depth about Joelinton's performance, but were you happy with the change that was made, or would you have liked to see Dwight Gale maybe?
I would have preferred to have seen Dwight Gale, but to be honest, I can't say I was really fussed because, like you said in the player ratings, for Joelinton, these are the sort of matches that he should be judged upon in terms of performances. You know, teams that are on a par with us. And, you know, against a Southampton side, again, no disrespect to them, but they are not hitting the heights this season. They are way below par this season, and especially Southampton in this fixture at St James's Park. They've got a terrible record at St James's Park. So today was a massive chance for Joelinton to make a mark and actually say, look, I can actually perform. Did absolutely none of that today.
He definitely did not, but we touched about Southampton not having a great record at St James's. We've got just as woeful one down in Southampton, by the way. I think my uncle's lived in Southampton for over 30 years. He's seen Newcastle win 3 times. Lee, I thought first half, I thought Southampton were very, very comfortable. They had a lot of the ball. They looked dangerous. Ward-Prowse was getting his set plays in, and Dubravka's had to make 2 big saves. The first through a mistake, and Nathan Redmond goes through. A wonderful save with his leg to lift it over the crossbar. And then from the resultant corner, I can't remember who was at the far post, but
it was a bit of confusion. Then there was a shot.
And then the shot came in a fantastic save from Dubravka. Game-changing moments, you have to say.
From a Southampton's perspective, that 1-on-1's got to go in. You've got to be scoring that. If that's us at the other end, we'll be cursing Joelinton, we'll be cursing ASM, whoever it is. That has to go in. For our perspective, Martin Dubravka's keep pulling trumps week in, week out now.
What a week he's had.
He's had a great weekend. Obviously, he signed his contract, 7 weeks back. Probably a good thing, and it's not from the club do good things with players, but he's got to be number 1 for years if he keeps that form up. And it was a poor first half.
It was.
It's not an advert for football. It was shocking to watch. It was dreadful from both sides. If you take those 2 chances out, it was shocking. It was cold. I'm obviously under the weather. Rob, you were doing this, trying to keep warm. It was just the atmosphere. It was flat. It was a shocking first half.
It was, Rob. But if people are asking how many chances did Newcastle have in the first half, not many. Not many have won at all. All I can think of, Rob, is maybe Saint-Maximin with his little mazy run, plays it back to Almira and just shoot Almira, and you're about 8 yards out, just shoot, and he kind of scuffs it and get tackled at the same time.
There was another half chance in there, I'd say. Yeah,
but like nothing that you go, oh, McCarthy's had to be worked, hasn't it? It was very dire, to put it politely, in the first half, and I was glad it was half time. Were you?
Yeah. It was 1 minute of added time, 1 minute too many. Yeah, McCarthy might as well have got a deck chair out.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was another half chance in there, I think, where ASM tried to play in Joelinton, and the first touch from Joelinton is a shocker. It goes out for a corner eventually, but that's just another one of those chances where the first touch needs to be improved. That sets you up really nicely.
The first touch was in Gateshead, believe it or not. So second half, Shaw comes on for the injured Kieran Clark, you have to say. I don't think it was tactical. I don't think it was needed to be a tactical change. Mm. And a long ball gets played through. And for some reason, like I said to Lee walking down to the radio show, the only reason I can think that Fabian Schär has not headed that ball, because that's the first thing you get told as a kid. If you've got a high ball, just head it away, or try and control it. And the only thing is that he's had a shout off somebody just to let it go, but hasn't realised that Danny Ings is pouncing, going through on goal. It's a good finish. I think the pace beats Dubravka more than anything else, Lee. And you have to say Southampton justified a 1-0 lead at that point if you're looking at the overall game.
Yeah, they're the better side. And for Newcastle somehow come away with 3 points, you're scratching your head thinking, how? To be honest with you, because I don't feel that we deserved 3 points. Against Sheffield United, I don't feel that we deserved 3 points. However, we're not playing great, but still coming out with 3 points. which is a sign of champions. But yeah, Fabian Schär, just put your head on, and I love Fabian Schär, but he's a fault there, and that's his mistake. You can't really point the finger nowhere else. He's in like over on the left side, which he doesn't normally play. He's just literally come on. Maybe you take that to some extent, but he's an international. It's poor. Just headed out, and you cost him a goal there.
He did. And then Steve Bruce made the big change of taking Joelinton off Rob. I'm going to let you have your thoughts on Joelinton in a second. But first, he brings on Andy Carroll. It was a game changer in the end, wasn't it? We'll talk about Carroll first, and then we'll discuss Joelinton. But yeah, what do you make of the fact that Carroll just literally, I would say, almost changed the game single-handedly, didn't he?
I think, it wasn't quite single-handedly in the sense that he needs to be given the service of the long balls, so he needs to rely on the teammates about him to provide, the accurate Hollywood balls like what Shelvey was doing, for example. But yeah, Carroll, all of a sudden, as soon as he comes on, you can sense that little bit of fear in the Southampton defence.
He's a leader, Rob. He's a leader.
They couldn't. Southampton's defence just couldn't handle him in those hot situations. When even when Carroll knocked in the cross for Shelvey's goal,
fantastic header as well, and a fantastic cross.
Yeah, it's incredible, and I think well played to Bruce for bringing Joelinton off at that time. Had he left it any later, then that certainly would have been risking whether or not we'd have equalised in good time, of course. To be honest, the quickest I saw Joelinton run today was when he ran off the pitch.
Rob, let's touch about Joelinton, because you said at the top of the video, this is the sort of games you get judged on when you're a £40 million striker, especially in Newcastle striker. When you play the likes of your Southamptons, your Burnleys, your Crystal Palaces. These are the games that we expect you to get goals, and we expect you to make it hard work for the defenders. That was woeful. That was pitiful today, and I'm being really polite.
Yeah, you're right. Just had no sense whatsoever in terms of trying to get into the right positions. He was just all over. It's like in a crossword puzzle when you're trying to find the solution to 3 across, but then it's where you're trying to find the solution to 24 down, but you haven't solved 3 across yet. It was quite ridiculous. So I remember I did a preview with The Ugly Inside, and quite a few of the comments that came in asking me on my thoughts on Joelinton, because the comments also said, we think he's awful. And today, I think he's certainly proved those comments right.
What do you do with him, though?
You've got to drop him, haven't you, for the Burnley game? Because if you're looking at a similar team that are going to be in and around the bottom half, and you look at the defenders he's going to be up against, James Tarkowski, Ben Mee.
I've said it for weeks.
He's going to be...
I said it for weeks.
Yeah.
We're doing the radio, said he's got to come out. I know people were backing him, but I was saying, it's time, you've got to bring him out. And I'm talking 6 weeks ago, I was saying this, and I'm getting proved right now. I think the team comes first, and if the team are winning, the individuals have to suffer. And he's an individual at the moment, he's not a team player. When Andy Carroll came on, it wasn't just doing that. He's a leader. I seen it on Sheffield United. I was saying to you, he points, he's telling people.
Went over to Bruce a few times.
He went over to Bruce. He had a go at Bruce, and I like that. It shows that leadership. And also that you touched upon the goal as well, is that Shelvey, in the press conference, Bruce was saying, well, he's been laid back and we've been critical of him, just sitting there, looks lethargic, looks lazy, wants the ball, paying it, that's all he's in for. But not of late, he's been getting forward and he bursts to get on the end of it. And it's a fabulous goal. But going back to Joelinton, I think, first of all, how does Dwight Gale get in that team? Because he's played 16 games, whatever it is now. He's got 1 assist or 2 assists, whatever, and 1 goal. It's not enough. And I know the system isn't great, but Andy Carroll has proven you can do a lot more in the system. Yes, he might not score goals, but Andy Carroll's barging people over. He's knocking them. He's going flying back. He's tracking back. He's fighting for the team, and Joelinton doesn't do that, sadly.
I think at the minute as well. Sorry, Rob, but just for the minute, we've played 3 games in 8 days. We've got a week's rest for the Burnley game, and then another week's rest for Crystal Palace, and then we've got the whole Christmas schedule. Yeah. I think for me, if touch wood, hopefully Carroll stays fit, you start in the next 2 games.
This is plastic, by the way.
Is it not wood underneath? Is it not? Oh, that doesn't matter. Touch wood. But in all seriousness, it's starting for the next 2 games, and then you've got Man United on Boxing Day with Everton a couple of days later. I would say, look, get ready for that Man United game, because the Everton game's far more important for us. And then go, right, this is your time to shine. Old Trafford. Make sure you prepare. Make sure you get ready and see if and see if you can kind of make the difference. But that's a whole subject altogether, isn't it?
It's a small negative from a good win today.
It's a massive win.
It's a great win. Look where we are now in the table.
Yeah, we'll touch that in the second part of the last word, but let's touch about the second goal, the winning goal. Sean Longstaff came on for Almiron, about 5-10 minutes to go. It was almost a bit like basketball without any attempts, really, because Southampton were getting a lot of set plays, Newcastle trying to counter-attack, and no one was really getting proper shots on goal. Southampton had a lot of set pieces. Bertrand actually misses a great chance for Southampton from the corner where he should put it away. He's pretty much...
Game over, that guy's in.
It is. Yeah. He's kind of almost missing an empty net. But Sean Longstaff gets the ball about 30 yards out. Gallagher's shouting at him, screaming at him to shoot. He does shoot. And on the greasy surface, Rob McCarthy parries it out to the one, the only, not Joelinton, not Andy Carroll. It was Federico Fernandez. His third goal of the season. And he managed to get all 3 points for Newcastle. That goal could be absolutely massive for Newcastle this season, can't it?
Definitely. It's moments like these when you snatch those 2 extra points. That could be the difference between relegation and survival. But I think for us, at the moment, I'm really enjoying the fact that we're above Arsenal. We're in the top half. We're in December. Arsenal have to win tomorrow in order to go above us at the end of the weekend. That in itself is incredible.
It doesn't happen a lot, does it? Let's hear from Steve Bruce. He'll be absolutely delighted that he's managed to get 2 wins out of 2, especially against 2 teams that are probably going to be in and around the bottom half this season. Take it away, Steve.
How wonderful it is to witness, isn't it? You know, we were painful in the first half. Let's be honest, and we need to change a few things. I toyed with changing this round. I always knew third game in 6 days. Southampton have had 24 hours more recovery time, and that's huge. Listen, a football player can play every day of the week if you want, but you can't play with the intensity that you could play at the start of the week. So it's always bearing with me and nagged at me, and it nags more because now I've got 2 people injured with muscle injuries, which can only be fatigue. And in the end, though, the change of system when we found a bit of energy from our subs helped us win the game.
Didn't have the best of first halves. Definitely 100% did not have the best of first halves. And Danny Ings scored, and at that moment I thought, are we gonna screw ourselves over here? And after the draw against Man City and the win midweek against Sheffield United, are we gonna screw ourselves over and lose this game by 1-0? I thought I had it written all over it before the game, quite personally, but the lads fought back once more in the Premier League. I mean, we did it against City, we've done it against Bournemouth, we've done it again now. Incredible fight from the lads. John Joe Shelby on the score sheet again. I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up our top scorer this season, unless, of course, forwards start firing in the goals. Still awaiting Almiron's first goal, but what does it matter? And then finally, Federico Fernandez knocked in the winner. Incredible. I think if we can keep pushing on like this and get points from the games against Burnley and Palace, by the end of the season, I think we could be looking at top half of the table, maybe even pushing for Europe. I don't want to speak too soon here, but fingers crossed, guys. So, great game today, guys.
And we're back. Well, thanks very much. That's courtesy of NUSC TV as well for that clip. Let's look at the table. There'll be a table coming up as a graphic very, very soon. At the minute, we're 2 points off Man United in 5th. We're in the top half, as Rob mentioned. Lee, this is
getting a nosebleed. From
yeah,
the dizzy heights.
now it's just tomato ketchup. That's poor for me. I have to say that. But Lee, if we said this at the start of the season, after the Arsenal game, you're going to be sitting in the top half in December. You're above Arsenal on the table. You're 2 points off Manchester United. I would have think everybody would have taken that, wouldn't they?
I think Mike Ashley's going to be looking at thinking the only thing I'm buying in January is a shop. So Mike Ashley has a record of, I don't want to change the subject, but Mike Ashley has a record of buying when we're struggling. So hopefully he still buys because we're doing well. Bruce is, look, he's beating the odds and he's proving everybody wrong at the moment. I was saying to Rob, just when we were in McDonald's, and I was saying I'm still consciously looking at 18 still. Although,
7 points ahead of Southampton now.
I know, but it's Newcastle. We could be. I know you mentioned all these games in January. We could be back down there again. That's how tight the league is, or we could be right at the top again coming up, which would be fantastic. But he's done a great job. But I'm still conscious of what's 18. Why are those points? Because although we're hitting the dizzy heights, for me, it's staying up still at the moment. Keep my eye on it, but you've got to give credit to Bruce, man. What a job he's doing and a lot of those players over the summer are not his players. That's what people do forget. He didn't bring in Joelinton. He didn't bring in ESM. All these players that are coming in, he probably only had the same what Andy Carroll perhaps, but that'll be it. But what a job.
Rob, Lee's obviously right to mention the fact that survival is still the priority, but can Newcastle start looking a little bit higher at the minute and go, well, do you know what? We're only a couple of points off fifth. I'm not saying we're going to be in the fifth or sixth bracket at the minute, but can you go, well, why not? We've got a couple of decent games on paper. Burnley away, Burnley have just beaten 5-0 at Tottenham. They've beaten 4-1 of Man City. You've got Palace, so at home, which will be a game on paper, which is a winnable game, a bit like the Southampton game. Can Newcastle start looking a little bit higher, or do you think we should just be very cautious about the whole thing?
I think it's all the time. It's always good to always look up, always look to improve. And 2 points off the top 5. That's just incredible. And so I think right now it is definitely worth looking up, considering that we're a lot closer to the top 5 than we are to the relegation zone. But at the moment, we're still in December. Let's not let go of the guide ropes just yet, because there is still a chance that we could fall. There's a chance that we could have one of those disastrous second halves to the season like we did in 2014 and then again in 2015. So, who knows what could happen. But at the moment, let's look up whilst cautiously, let's not get our hopes up on this.
Get your commenting. Should we get our hopes up? Should we be thinking a little bit higher, or do you feel that, like Lee says, let's just make sure that we're so many points ahead of 18 and at the end of the season that we're still in the Premier League? Get your commenting. Who was your man of the match? Was it Martin Dubravka? Was it Andy Carroll?
Andy Carroll shoots, scores, you'll break a beeping jaw.
Yeah, he will. We'll have all the videos later on tonight. Of course, the radio show will be on as well. On Nova Radio, which you've probably already seen. If you haven't, it'll be in the videos as well. Like and subscribe to Newcastle Fans TV, and we'll see you at Burnley next week.